Hello everyone. Today we are going to be talking a little bit about the Gundam Card Game. What my thoughts are. We're about a week out from the original start decks coming out. So I got to play a little bit, been watching a little bit of content about it as well, and around a week from today I'll be playing in the Eggman online event. I'm looking forward to playing in this. I think it'll be fun. Give me more of a real feel of what the game is about. A little bit of background about me. I've played a number of different card games. I've played Pokemon, Magic. My first Bandai game was Digimon. I played that for a while. And overall, I think I feel good about the game. I'm excited to try it out. I think that Bandai has learned some things from Digimon, and so I'm hoping that this will be a good experience. But yeah, I've got some proxies here to cut out, to sleeve up. I've got my Kyojuro sleeves right here from Demon Slayer. I got those a while ago. I used to play them, my Jesmon deck in Digimon. So yeah, I'm excited to sleeve these bad boys up. And while I do so, I'll kind of give my thoughts on the game. So while I sleeve up these cards, I figured I'd talk a little bit about my experience in trading card games. So for essentially all my life, I've played trading card games. I played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! When I was younger. And then kind of took a break, got introduced to Magic the Gathering in high school, and then played that kind of throughout high school and college, got into Pokemon around college, went back to Yu-Gi-Oh! For a little bit, and then played Pokemon kind of after COVID, traveled a lot going to regionals, and so that was all, a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that time and doing that. And I think throughout that time, I realized that I was kind of enjoying Pokemon less and less. And throughout that, I've kind of been able to take a step back from trading card games for a while. I met my partner in that time, and so, throughout us getting to know each other, I didn't play very much. And so when they announced the Gundam Card Game, one of the things that I had really found a lot of fulfillment in is painting miniatures, as well as working on Gundam plastic models. And so when they announced the Gundam Card Game, it's kind of marrying two interests of mine. I do have some experience playing Bandai card games. As I mentioned, I played Digimon. And I had a couple of things that I didn't really like with Digimon. There were some things that I really loved and found awesome. But I think my experience with my partner, her and I, we've been playing Lorcana, and we've been playing Star Wars Unlimited. Both games that have come out recently, and I think both are games that are pretty creative and pretty unique. And so I've really been enjoying those through her eyes of someone who hasn't really played trading cards, and I think that's kind of reignited my love for trading cards as well. So I think it's good that I'm back interested in this, and I'm curious how far I feel like Gundam will take me. But overall, I think that's kind of where I am with card games now. I think one of the things that held me up from getting really invested in card games was the idea of not creating. I've been interested in photography for a while, and like I said, painting and building models and that kind of thing has been an interest of mine for a while as well. And so I think for me, spending all of my time playing card games, I kind of was missing this feeling of creating, And so I think that's part of the reason that I want to try videography, and I want to try and marry these two interests of playing card games and being interested in card games, but also being able to use it as a creative outlet. I think is something that I've kind of lacked up until right now. So I just got back from trying to get my box. Today is the set release date, but I'll talk a little bit about that after I've had my coffee and my snack here. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. So today is release day, as I mentioned before, and we went to the store and they were sold out. Now, I was planning to buy one box. My locals, they had a limit of one box per person, so I was just planning to buy the one. I was, of course, a little bummed that they didn't have any, that they were sold out, but the owner told me that they had sold out within, I think he said 15 minutes of the store opening. There was a line before. And really, for me, it's a little known fact among my card game friends that I actually don't really enjoy opening packs. I much prefer to buy singles. And so in these kind of situations where there's a game that I'm really looking forward to, I will buy boxes because I want the store to do well with this game. So for me, I want to go buy a box from my local game store because that's where I plan on playing Gundam. So to hear that they were all sold out, for me, that's just as good as getting a box, because I know that when the next set comes, they're going to stock it and they're going to run events. I think, just in case people aren't as familiar with card games, the real motivation behind running events for stores is that people come in and buy product. And so sometimes, even when events are doing well, if the store isn't selling product, it can be, really tough. So that's kind of my motivation behind it. So I was fine to not get a box. I've already ordered all of the singles that I need to build the decks that I want to build. I'm planning to build the Unicorn Blue Blockers deck, and I'll go through in a little bit the deck that I'm going to be playing for the Eggman tournament this weekend, just to chat a little bit about that and why I chose to play that. But yeah, so overall, even though we didn't get a box, I'm really not too pressed about it. So this is the list that I'm going to be playing for the event. I can't remember who made it. I think they got second in one of the Eagle's Nest events. So shout out to you if you're the one who initially made this list. Essentially, it's just, kind of straight up blue-white blockers. Now, I'm not playing the unicorn package. I did order it, so I think in paper, that's what I'll be playing. I thought about putting the unicorn package in here now that that's starting to get a little bit more popular. But honestly, I would rather not cut out any more proxies. So for that reason, I've decided to just play the list as I have it printed here. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think the reason that I want to play a deck like this is generally, early on in card games, control, it can be really strong if you play well, because it's really punishing for the suboptimal plays, right? If you trade really well or do something really efficiently, especially early on in card games, there's less of an opportunity for your opponent to be able to recover because you already, are kind of up an advantage in a format where there's not a lot of advantage to be gained, right? So I did think about playing a green-red Xeon Rush deck, but I think ultimately with a deck like this, the game is going to be in my control a lot more. And I think that's kind of the reason that I want to play a control deck like this.